This is a podcast from the Daily Grind. To get all the news delivered straight to your ear, visit our Facebook page or download our app. Now, here's today's audio newspaper.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Grind, everybody. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of October, and I'm Ankit Prasad. We haven't dealt with current affairs for a few days now, and so in this episode, we're going to get us up to date with the biggest ongoing stories. In less than a month now, there will be a new president of the United States. The outgoing president, Barack Obama, has already cast his vote and is now rightfully making the most of the time that remains by giving the world a glimpse of how to lead and by setting targets for things such as the space program that hopefully his successors will adhere to. Who his immediate successor will be is still a question that needs answering, however, though thankfully now Donald Trump's many controversies and everything else are beginning to catch up with him. Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee, appears to be leading Trump on most of the nationwide polls by between 5 and 11%. There are still one or two that insist that Trump retains a slender advantage though. There are two things to note about these poll results. The first is that they may not yet fully account for the events of last week, viz. Trump's deplorable remarks on women in a 2005 audio leak, and the subsequent second presidential debate, where among other things, he threatened Clinton with jail time if she came to office for her leaked emails. Those events still have to be accounted for. The second aspect about the polls is that Trump seems to be leading among men, but the women are absolutely hammering him. Among matters that could become big talking points in the final presidential debate, which is next Thursday, are WikiLeaks' leak of Clinton campaign emails, which basically lay bare a lot of planning, and Trump's tax returns. WikiLeaks has been branded as Russian propaganda by the Clinton campaign, while on the tax front, Warren Buffett, who for long has been one of America's richest people and who was accused by Trump of also utilizing loopholes to avoid paying federal income taxes, has burst that particular bubble by disclosing his tax returns and also turning the heat back on Trump by saying that he's doing so while being audited, something that Trump has held on to like a clutch, lest the world find out just how much he earned and how little he gave back. It's not over though, and it would be foolish to assume that it is. We'll return to India now. Around this time last year, we were in the midst of a very messy set of debates over things such as cows, intolerance, award vapsi, and other such things that culminated in the BJP's rout in the Bihar elections and then promptly were never heard from again. Once bitten, twice shy, for months now, we've been speculating about what will happen in the lead up to the UP elections and others scheduled early next year. The stakes are very, very high, and things could get very bad because of all the casteist and communal forces that will undoubtedly come into play. Now, while it sometimes appears as though parties have no problem drumming up issues to take political stances over, it is perhaps far wiser to adapt a running issue into a plotline for electoral success. The BJP appears to be doing exactly this with the surgical strikes, and whether it should be allowed to do so is becoming a big debate. The Prime Minister was in the capital of UP, Lucknow, for the Dussehra festivities, and there he made it a point to talk about terrorism, though in his own characteristic style, by drawing parallels to the Ram Leela. While all sorts of things will be said in the rallies when they inevitably do begin, right now it's him talking obliquely and the others making sure that nobody misses out on the fact that Modi conducted surgical strikes, whether it be by billboards or stray comments or whatever it may be. To us, it seems like he has full right to talk about the surgical strikes, seeing as it was under his leadership that the whole thing turned out. India could quite easily have done something different that could have led to a different outcome, but they did this, which worked out quite well. However, there are two sides to the outcome as well. While the Uri attacks were successfully avenged, what's clear is that under the current regime, the situation in Kashmir now looks irretrievable. There have been numerous instances in the past week where so-called terrorists have tried to do what they do. In one such incident that just ended, two of them were holed up inside a government building for days, and outside, the Kashmiri people gathered en masse to shout anti-India slogans. Also, because of the polarized nature of the media, there is no longer any distinction between terrorists and militants or those from across the border and locals. They are all terrorists, and Kashmir is awash with them. Also, last year, the BJP and RSS's big teddy bear, Mohan Bhagwat, probably cost them the elections, and he's back now as well. He's been talking about Pakistan and Gauraksha, among other things. But maybe it's not time to bother with what he has to offer just yet. We'll head to Tamil Nadu now, where the mystery surrounding Chief Minister Jayalalitha's illness continues. She's been in hospital for 20 days now, and as per the information that's been let out, she's been in a state of perpetual recuperation. However, it doesn't seem to be that way, to be completely honest. High-profile doctors have been brought in from far-off places, and people have been arrested for spreading rumors. The opposition has demanded evidence that her condition is indeed improving, and big leaders like Rahul Gandhi and Venkaiah Naidu have been to visit, though there's no word on how far in they got. Now though, her AIADMK government looks to have given her more room to focus on her health by allocating her portfolios and basically all aspects of her chief ministership apart from the title itself to Paneerselvam, the finance minister who stood in for Jayalalitha when she was in jail last year. So he's now in charge. We'll end this section with the awful numbers from the disaster that was Hurricane Matthew. At least 1,042 people have died as a result of the storm. Almost 1,000 of these were in Haiti, while there were also a few in Colombia and the Dominican Republic, and 36 in the United States. Hurricane Matthew also caused damage to the tune of $5 billion. We wish that all those who have died rest in peace, and the survivors get all they need to rebuild.
This is a podcast from the Daily Grind. To get all the news delivered straight to your ear, visit our Facebook page or download our app.
It's time for sports and entertainment now, and we'll begin with cricket. India comfortably sealed a 3-0 Test series win over New Zealand yesterday by beating the Kiwis by a quite massive 321-run margin. On day 4, India declared their second innings at 216 for 3 after Cheteshwar Pujara had completed his century. New Zealand would need 475 runs to win, but they only got to 153 as Ashwin took 7 wickets in this innings to add to the 6 he'd taken earlier. Next up is the 5-match ODI series starting on Sunday. Also, today is the 5th match in the 5-match ODI series between Australia and South Africa. The Aussies have already lost 4-0 and will be looking to avoid a whitewash in Cape Town. And in matches that do mean something, England and Bangladesh are currently playing the third and final match in their ODI series, which is currently balanced at 1-all. Bangladesh are batting first and are doing quite well at 174 for 3 in 32 overs. In football, the international break is over, so this weekend we'll resume normal service. Boy, is that a relief. Now, from Bollywood, we have the trailer for Befakire, which we've spoken about for ages now, it feels like. It begins with Ranveer Singh and Vani Kapoor setting ground rules. They'll never say I love you is all it is. They're friends with benefits, and more than that, they're crazy. They spend a lot of time together without getting arrested, which is creative license we feel. And that's it. It looks like it's fun in parts, but all in all, this is exactly the kind of thing that gives Indians a bad name abroad, when they think nobody's watching. Befakire releases on December the 9th. We'll head abroad via Priyanka Chopra. The magazine Condé Nast Traveler has come out with a statement about the controversy over a t-shirt that Priyanka Chopra wore on the cover of its 6th anniversary issue. It's not an apology, but rather a long rant against labeling people as immigrants, refugees and outsiders because it's creating a culture of xenophobia. Also, some countries and leaders are putting up walls which need to be broken and torn down so that we can all be one. All in all, the magazine wants this kind of thing to end so that humanity may enjoy all the abundance that travel offers. Because we're all on a journey, whether we be refugees, migrants, or whatever it may be. Now there's a load of post-manufactured hippie nonsense. Our next trailer brings us face to face with Nicolas Cage in a film aptly titled Army of One. Cage is an elderly looking slob with no purpose, until he has some sort of medical thing and Russell Brand speaks to him telepathically, telling him to go to Afghanistan or Pakistan to capture Osama bin Laden. Despite everyone telling him not to go, he trains in his own way and heads on over. In Pakistan, he behaves like a lunatic. We're not sure if he finds Osama, but Pakistan definitely finds him. Extremely weird. Army of One is by the same director who brought us Borat, and that explains plenty. It will come out sometime in the middle of next month. Next up, Justin Timberlake has a trailer out called Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids, which is a very up-close look at one of his concerts, with sound, lights, suits, shoes and all. It looks gloriously cool and sounds even better. He's dedicated it to the recently departed Prince as per reports. Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids releases today on Netflix. Also, in case Netflix is interested, there is a show that they may want to pick up. Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee is reportedly up for grabs. It's currently with a service called Crackle, which is owned by Sony, but Seinfeld's contract expires soon, and so the show is now available. Seinfeld has done more than 50 episodes with people such as David Letterman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Barack Obama. So pick him up, someone. We'll end this episode with a pair of obituaries, sadly. Parmeshwar Godrej, philanthropist, socialite, and wife of Godrej Group chairman Adi Godrej, has passed away at the age of 71. Among her various efforts was a sustained one to spread awareness about HIV/AIDS. She worked with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, started a museum in Hyderabad with M.F. Hussain, was a fashion entrepreneur, and did many other things. That's Parmeshwar Godrej. And in the world of animation, Michio Yasuda, a famed animator and color designer for Studio Ghibli of Japan, the maker of some of the best anime films of all time, has passed away at the age of 77. She was known for her collaborations with Hayao Miyazaki, co-founder of Studio Ghibli, and they worked together ever since the studio's first release, Castle in the Sky, in 1986, to 2013's The Wind Rises. That's Michio Yasuda. And with that, we're at the end of this episode. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Ankit Prasad, and this has been The Daily Grind.
This is a podcast from The Daily Grind. To get all the news delivered straight to your ear, visit our Facebook page or download our app.